organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, University of Iowa officials are responding to allegations against Peter Gray. We have all the details. And find out what kind of farm animal you may soon be able to keep in your backyard.
And in sports, the story of a softball talent hitting home runs both on and off the diamond beyond the locker room is back.
That's all coming your way next. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning into your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Alyssa Bergamini.
And I'm Allie Wright. University of Iowa officials continue to review details following the resignation of Athletics Department official Peter Gray last week. President Sally Mason released a statement Tuesday saying she will take necessary action once all of the details are known. Gray, who is a former Associate Director of Athletics Student Services at the UI, resigned following allegations that he had inappropriate sexual contact with student athletes. Several student athletes have since spoken about their interactions with Gray. Cyrus Tate, a member of the UI men's basketball team from 2006 to 2009, told the Daily Iowan, quote, "I'd see him when I'd go to the Learning Center. Overall interaction with him was cool," end quote. And Paul Gordon, a 2011 graduate of the UI and former All-American swimmer, said Gray was a key member of the UI advising staff. He also told the Daily Iowan, quote, "He was a help to our team and his abilities as an advisor will be missed," end quote. Iowa Regent Bob Downer said he is concerned over the rehiring of Gray in 2002. According to reports obtained by the Iowa City Press-Citizen, Gray was reported to have been involved in inappropriate sexual behavior during his first stint at the UI from 1993 to 1995. President Mason says the university will make no further comment on the issue.
Keeping a chicken at your residence may soon become a reality. The Iowa City Council will vote Tuesday night on an ordinance that will allow residents to keep a chicken in their backyard. If the ordinance passes, the applicant will be required to notify all of their neighbors that they are submitting an application to keep a chicken. The fee for the initial application would be $100. Cedar Rapids and Ames currently allow backyard chickens.
And council members will also discuss allowing mobile vendors in Iowa City to stay in one location for up to 3 years. City officials say this will provide more consistency downtown. Mobile vendors are currently allowed 1 year in their spot. The city staff says they would also like to limit the ownership interest to 3 carts. Tuesday night will be the first discussion. In order to be passed, the ordinance must be discussed 2 more times.
How fast would your heart race after walking up and down stairs for a minute? That is exactly what Health Iowa found out on Monday. The organization offered free health assessments at the recreational center to find out just how fit you are. For 2 hours, they tested patients' heart rate, blood pressure, heart endurance, and flexibility. Officials from Health Iowa say it is important for students to know where they are physically so they can get to the ideal place in their health.
It's really important because research shows that people who understand where they're at physically in terms of health, so they have some biometric information, numbers, that helps them, stick with their goals and get healthier over time, maintain a long-term exercise and health plans.
Health Iowa provides free health assessments to any university-affiliated group. You can contact them at studenthealth.uiowa.edu.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, find out why a former UI lawyer is still fighting his firing 4 years after it occurred.
And in sports, we have Hoops highlights, exclusive Kirk Ferentz soundbites, and a one-on-one interview with Hawkeye wide receiver Cavante Martin-Manley.
That's all coming up in just a bit, but now let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Whitney Blakemore for your local weather forecast. Whitney, what can we expect for the rest of the week?
Thanks, Allie. Well, unfortunately, that little bit of warm weather from the weekend is gone, and we will be seeing those lower temps once again. In the morning, it's going to start off partly cloudy with around 40 degrees. The afternoon, the clouds will still be around with in the mid-50s temps. And in the evening, it's going to be back down to about 35. As we look into our extended forecast, it seems as if the weather is going to stay pretty consistent, as temps will be hitting the low to mid-50s with mostly sunny skies throughout the week. As we head into next week, the lows will be a little bit warmer into the mid to high 30s, but those clouds will be heading in. And a week from today, expect to see some scattered showers throughout the day from those clouds. That's all for me here at Weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
The University of Iowa's former general counsel is appealing a ruling that said his firing by President Sally Mason did not violate his rights. Mark Mills was fired in 2008 after the release of a report on the handling of a sexual assault involving football players. A judge ruled last month Mason had the right to fire Mills because he was an at-will employee who had few job protections at the time. Mills claims his reputation was damaged because of the firing.
The parents of 2 missing Eastern Iowa girls have written an open letter to their daughter's abductors. Tuesday marked 4 months since 11-year-old Lyra Cook and 9-year-old Elizabeth Collins went missing. The girls were last seen riding their bikes in Evansdale. The letter says, quote, "Taking the girls from us has caused so much pain. Pain for them, pain for us, and for our families. We want you to know that we are praying for you to do the right thing," end quote. Authorities are still investigating the girls' disappearance.
And now let's take a look at what's happening around the world. The stock market saw small changes to its low value after closing on Monday. This adds fuel to the fear of investors of a fiscal cliff on the horizon. Points of different companies either rose or fell slightly, but no dramatic changes were recorded. The fiscal cliff refers to tax increases and government spending cuts that are scheduled to take place at the beginning of the new year, unless Congress and the White House make a compromise.
And 40 states have signed petitions to secede from the U.S. and form their own government. All states that have filed a petition need 25,000 signatures by mid-December to pass. If they are passed, they will be reviewed by the White House administration. According to the White House website, Tennessee has already a little more than 21,000 signatures to their petition. 2 states' petitions have already passed.
And now Daily Iowan TV's Annie Constable is here for your look at Hawkeye Sports. Annie?
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. Jam-packed show for you tonight, including an exclusive interview with Hawkeye wideout Cavante Martin-Manley, hoops highlights from Carver, and of course, our clips of the day from Kirk Ferentz's weekly meet and greet with the media this afternoon. But first, we return to our new original series, Beyond the Locker Room. On tonight's show, a softball player remembers the past in an effort to give others a better future. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Kate Constable has the story.
The softball field is a world of difference from the battlefield. But University of Iowa softball player Crystal Sherrill cares about our country's veterans as much as she does her teammates, stemming all the way back to her Girl Scout years.
For my Girl Scout Gold War project, I started doing blankets for dialysis patients. My sister started Hats of Hope, which is a nonprofit for cancer patients, and she made hats, and we had extra materials. So I thought, why not make blankets for veterans and learn kind of about their needs.
Although she doesn't have any personal ties to veterans, her efforts to fundraise and send care packages to Iraq has caused her work to not only be noticed by local TV stations, but more importantly by President Obama.
I actually write for the Joining Forces blog for the White House, and so this is just one of my blog entries.
Now, Crystal's only a freshman this year, but she already has a good idea of what she wants her future to look like.
After my 4 years here, I'll probably hang up the cleats, but I'd like to go back and coach small kid, younger kids with my dad to give back to the community and all the people who helped me out along the way.
And when asked if she'll continue volunteering,
this will be a lifelong thing for sure.
Kate Constable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
It's basketball season, in case you haven't already heard, and the Black and Gold faithful are packing Carver Hawkeye Arena, holding out hope that their Hawkeye Hoops team can continue their rise to prominence. Daily Iowan TV men's basketball reporter Alicia Denez was courtside for last night's action.
The men's basketball team took on Central Michigan Monday night. Marble would start the night off with this quick pass-and-go drive to the basket for 2 points. Then it's Basabi's turn. He does the look around, decides to take the shot himself. Swish, 2 more points for Hawkeyes. He's not done yet, though. He gets these two back-to-back blocks that leaves even the camera rattled. Hawks lead 10-5, but the Chippewas would sink this three to get them back in the game. But Basabi answers with the break-free slam dunk to put Iowa up 29-26 for the half. The Hawkeyes will start off the second half strong. May gets the assist, Gazelle gets the layup. He'll go on to have 15 points that night. Central Michigan gets a quick drive to the basket, though, still trailing Iowa 58-43 with 8 minutes to go. But Marble locks the game away with this quick crossover layup. He'd lead the team that night with 18 points. Hawkeyes would go on to defeat Central Michigan 73-64.
Who would have guessed Franz Bunch would push back Kirk's crew in our show? But with Hawkeye fans ready to forget a gutting season on the gridiron, Ferentz once again stepped to the mic this afternoon to discuss his squad's upcoming trip to Ann Arbor and other matters concerning a Hawkeye football program on the decline. Coach?
We've lost 4 straight games. I think everybody's probably frustrated and disappointed. I know we are. I know our players are probably more disappointed and frustrated than anybody. Earlier in your career, you really probably tend to worry more, or not worry, but But I guess you just learn, you do what you can do, and if that's not good enough, then it's not good enough, and but that's all you can do, so you try to be as smart as you can, as prepared as you can. When you lose 4 straight, there's not much fun there, so that's how it goes sometimes, and all I can tell our fans is we're working as hard as we possibly can. I can't make any guarantees. We didn't 13 and a half years ago, and one thing I promised back then was we'd work hard to be successful, and that's what we're doing.
While the Hawks offense has sputtered down the stretch, Hawkeye wideout Cavante Martin-Manley has continued to give Big Ten quarters fits all season. Want the mindset of the Hawks' main threat? I caught up with the playmaker this afternoon.
Cavante, you guys are going up against the first-ranked pass defense in Michigan. How does this offense expect to match up against them?
We feel like we'll be able to make plays against those guys. Obviously they're a good team. They play hard. They got good players on their team, but we feel like we're very confident we can make plays and make something happen against them.
And going along with that, their overall defense is ranked 2nd in the Big Ten, so this will be a tough matchup. Do you guys think it's within your capabilities to beat this team? Yeah, definitely.
Any game we go into, we feel like we can win. But the biggest thing, you have to execute, and at the end of the day, you got to make plays and play hard. But we feel like we can win.
And finally, these last 2 games are completely necessary to be bowl eligible. Where are your guys' heads at going into these 2 games?
We have a high sense of urgency right now. They're must win. So, the guys in the locker room, they're getting together, they're getting serious. Not saying we wasn't serious before, but it's a higher sense of urgency right now.
Well, unfortunately, that's all for us here in sports. Beyond the Locker Room will be back same time tomorrow, and you better bring your spikes because we're heading to the track. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Find out how the City Council voted on the backyard chicken ordinance.
And read about how the Tippy College of Business is using the Gangnam Style phenomenon to help students learn. That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.